the bustling city of Port Harcourt, there lived a man named Clement. Clement was a fine man, an engineer with money in his pocket, but he carried a heavy shadow. He didn't want a wife. He wanted a cooking machine. Before Ifeoma, there was Amaka. Clement broke up with her on a Tuesday because she bought already peeled egusi from the market. He told her, "If you cannot sit and peel the seeds of the melon one by one, your patience is not enough to build a home." Then came Neka. He left her because he caught her using a blender. Clement, backed by his mother, Mama Clement, told the poor girl, "The blade of a blender heats the tomato and kills its spirit. A virtuous woman must use a grinding stone until her back aches." Mama Clement was always in his ear like a cricket. "My son," she would hiss, "I did it for your father for 40 years. I woke up at 4:30 a.m. every day to start the fire. Any woman who wants convenience is a Jezebel. Don't settle." So Clement lived by a strict code: no fridge food, no blenders, no microwave, 5 a.m. breakfast or no breakfast. He was a king waiting for a servant. Then he met Ifeoma. She was calm, beautiful, and seemed to accept all his laws without a word. For the 2 years they dated, Clement thought he had finally conquered a woman. Every Sunday he visited, the house would be steaming. Ifeoma would emerge from the kitchen, wiping fake sweat from her face with a wrapper, presenting him with pounded yam so smooth it looked like white velvet. Clement would eat and boast, "I have found the last virtuous woman in Nigeria." He didn't know that Ifeoma had a secret arrangement with a mama put restaurant down the street. While he was in the parlor, she was at the back gate, collecting hot bowls of soup and burying the takeaway plastic containers deep in the trash. She loved Clement, but she knew his rules were a prison, and she wasn't ready to be a prisoner. They got married, but 3 months in, the lioness arrived. Mama Clement came for an unannounced inspection. "Ifeoma," Mama said, sitting on a wooden stool in the kitchen, "today I will sit here. I want to see you make ofo from scratch. No gas cooker. Use this charcoal. I want to see your handwork." Ifeoma's heart began to beat like a talking drum. Clement was in the parlor, bragging to his cousins, "Just wait for the aroma. My wife's hands are blessed." But in that kitchen, it was a funeral. Ifeoma didn't know how to handle the smoke. She blinded herself and the old woman. She poured too much potash into the soup, making it foam like soap. She didn't wash the fish properly. When the food hit the table, it was an abomination. Clement took one bite and spat it out. "Ifeoma, what is this?" Mama Clement jumped up, screaming, "I knew it. This girl is a fraud. She has been buying food and deceiving my son. Clement, look at her hands. They're as soft as butter. Divorce her. Send her back to her father." Clement was humiliated. His pride was bleeding in front of his cousins. But as he looked at Ifeoma shivering in the corner, he felt a strange pull. "Mama, stop," Clement said. "We are already married. I will not divorce her. If she cannot cook, then I will be the one to cook." Mama Clement left in a rage, cursing the day she birthed a weak son. And so, the reign of Clement began. He decided he would show Ifeoma the standard. "But my people, talk is cheap until you are the one holding the knife." Clement would come back from his engineering job at 7 p.m., exhausted, only to sit on a low stool peeling melon seeds until his fingernails bled, because his own rule number 2 forbade buying them peeled. By Wednesday, he was waking up at 4:30 a.m. to start the fire for Pap, his eyes red from smoke and lack of sleep. 2 months of this, and Clement was a shadow of himself. His back was permanently bent. One night, he fell asleep standing over a pot of stew and nearly burned the house down. He realized that for years, he had demanded a virtue from women that was actually a slow form of death. He saw his mother's life differently now. He saw the pain, not the pride. One Tuesday, a heavy, shivering fever caught Clement. He couldn't even stand. Ife, he groaned from the bed. I'm sorry. I can't enter the kitchen. Please, just go to the junction and buy anything. Bread, biscuits. I don't care. I am a fool for those rules. I am sorry. Ifeoma just kissed his forehead. Sleep, Clement. I will handle it. Clement fell into a deep sleep. But an hour later, a scent pulled him out of the darkness. It was a scent that could wake the ancestors. The smell of fisherman's soup, rich with sea scents, yellow pepper, and native spices. He dragged himself out of bed, shivering, and followed the aroma to the kitchen. There stood Ifeoma. She wasn't fumbling. She was moving like a spirit. She was slicing onions with a speed he had never seen. She was tossing ingredients with the grace of a woman who had been born with a ladle in her hand. She tasted the soup and nodded with the authority of queen. Ifeoma. She turned, startled. She looked at him, then at the perfect soup she had just created. You can cook, Clement gasped, leaning against the doorframe. Better than my mother. Better than the street food. Ife, why? Why did you let me suffer for months? Why did you let me peel those melons until my hand were raw? Ifeoma sat him down and served him a bowl. The first spoon almost made him cry. Clement, she said softly, I am a professional chef. I ran a business for years. But I saw how you treated Amaka. I saw how you left Neka because of a blender. You didn't want a partner. You wanted a servant who wouldn't complain. I knew that if I showed you my skill on day one, I would never have a moment of rest. You would have used my talent to lock me in this kitchen forever. She looked at his scarred fingers. I'll let you cook for these months so you could feel the weight of what you were asking for. I wanted you to realize that a meal is a gift of love, not a demand of law. I wanted you to love me, the woman, not just the woman who feeds you. Clement looked at the soup, then at his wife's powerful hands. He felt a deep shame, but a greater relief. From that day, the rules were burned. Clement never asked for a 5 a.m. breakfast again. And whenever Mama Clement called to ask if the lazy girl had learned her lesson, Clement would laugh and say, Mama, I'm the one who learned. In this house, we don't cook for a king. We cook for each other.